Greetings, fellow castaways, and welcome to the Riff Raft. This episode is a little bit rough because we didn't have our equipment in front of us, but we understand that having the consistency is a lot more important than waiting for everything to be perfect. So, without further ado, we're the Iwinski brothers, and welcome to the Riff Raft. This is the podcast where each brother brings his own prompts, and we take these prompts, riff and rant. I'm Nate. This episode was recorded with my brother Andrew and our friend Buck. Let's see what happens.
We'll play frequencies that counteract and break down dog sounds.
Just play a shepherd's tone, just louder than everything.
Just have 100 decibel waves from the ocean.
Maybe just play the own citation.
And you can watch the house come apart and come back together. You're feeling very sleepy.
Capture rattlesnakes and just start throwing them over the wall.
That was an idea that we had yesterday.
Oh.
Every time we start barking, just throw a snake over.
Snake 'em!
Yeah, just with a fishing pole, just dangle a rattlesnake. Bite him!
Yeah, come on!
Got another.
Come on! Bite 'em.
Got like 10 rattlesnakes on a fishing pole.
Cat of 9 tails. Cat of 10 snakes.
You just hear the rattles going crazy.
It's like a hotter game. It's like the closer to the dogs you are, and it's like going on.
It's like a Geiger counter.
Yeah. Nice.
Is it warm in here?
Yeah, it's a little toasty.
So is she nice?
Nice.
And she was doing landscaping, like with out in her yard. There were some landscapers there doing raking rocks and stuff. Okay. We can't figure out how to turn this damn fan on either. That's what's happened. My asshole's raw.
Damn.
My butt lips are just absolutely chapped to death.
Yeah.
Have you been able to turn the light on in that?
Yeah, the light turned on.
Oh, that's
We
weird.
think there was a remote, and the last tenants either lost it
Fan
or
orders
took it.
didn't turn
Yeah,
on.
they definitely probably took it by accident.
1 second, I'm getting a call.
Oh, is it a plumber?
No. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Hello.
It's his girlfriend.
The opposite of a plumber is my girlfriend.
Yeah, what's that say about you, Nate?
They get to hear my gum problem.
What's your favorite gum? Top 3 gums.
Top 3 gum, either Mentos Spearmint.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Trident. It's Orbit Bubble Mint. It's pretty good.
Orbit Bubble Mint.
Orbit Bubble
I
Mint.
used to go for that one.
Or just regular Trident Spearmint.
I do like the Dentine Polar Ice.
Dentine. Oh yeah, I have. Those are pretty bitey at the beginning.
They're a little bitey. I do like Orbit. I think it's regular peppermint, or it's like a light blue. It's not the cool mint or whatever. It's like another.
Yeah.
And then double mint Wrigley with it's
Wrigley
just
double.
sweetened with sugar, so it doesn't have like any of the other stuff. But Trident has xylitol, which is actually good for your enamel. If you find any gum with xylitol in it, that's like, as a sweetener, that's kind of the best way to go.
Any gum with Tylenol. Nice.
Or xylitol. Yeah.
It's like a gusher. You bite into it. Cough syrup. Oh, I love these.
Yeah, no, the gum I have right now, it's just the Trident Spearmint. It uses xylitol.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a good one. And then
Oh, I thought that said 14 sticks per day, but it was 14 sticks per pack.
yeah,
I've probably
servings per container. One.
One per box.
Pack a huge wad. Get lockjaw from
Yeah.
and choke.
Will last you one baseball inning. To
Yeah.
play baseball.
There's just like next to the pitcher's mound, there's just like a huge mountain of like wads of gum. And there's Each batter, they pop in 14 sticks of gum.
For every swing.
Every swing.
That's what they build the plates out of.
It's a terrible call, ump.
He's pulling the gum out with both hands. Oh,
It's like a magic trick.
woo! Wraps a little around the ball. We got a gum ball.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so good.
What the freak? Anyway.
Do you remember the DuckTales episode where they could freeze time?
No, what?
You ever watch DuckTales?
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
DuckTales.
I love
I don't remember this one. I don't remember
They
this.
had an episode where they could freeze time, so they went and they sabotaged a baseball game.
No
so
way.
they like put gum in one guy's mitt so that when he fielded the ball, he threw it and they bounced back to his mitt. And then they turned like one of the players around and they like tied shoelaces together and then they started time again and like the whole game went to shit. It was crazy.
Holy cow. Did the boys do this, or was this like Scrooge voraciously betting on a game?
No,
Had to
the
win?
boys did it. Yeah.
I remember the episode, and this was a newer episode, but where they wished upon a star on the night of Christmas, and they all wished that Christmas would be every day. And then it was like a Groundhog Day situation, and then they wound up hating Christmas after a while. And then they had to find like inner peace and found out that Christmas was about giving rather
I think I
than
do remember this.
getting.
Oh.
And there was like a great moral to it, which honestly goes straight into one of my prompts. And my prompt was, do you remember when, like, what happened to kids' books and why they aren't, like, wholesome and unbiased and just, like, teach good morals
I was
anymore?
just talking to Loretta about this last night. How like now the books, they're like, they teach lessons like, they're like, so if Timmy has 4 iPads, then he should share 3 iPads so the other kids can brainlessly
Oh my gosh.
waste their time too. But they,
So compromised.
the way they teach, what were you gonna say though? Like,
Just that, like think about Little Bear, for instance.
Yeah.
Little Bear.
Like, he would do stuff that kids would actually do. One that really stuck out to me that almost, like, I felt called out as a kid was when Little Bear is pretending that he's asleep on one of the sofas and he's listening to the conversation and he's just, like, pretending that he's asleep while, like he was reading a book and then he fell asleep. And then they're talking about like bringing him on a fishing trip or whatever, and then he like perks up and he's like, "You're actually gonna take me fishing?" And then they're like, "You weren't actually asleep." Like, it's just random stuff like that where it doesn't contribute anything amazing to the story, but it's just, that's a very human thing to do.
It's true. So you think you're sly when you're a kid too.
Yeah.
And it kind of lets you know
Yeah.
that you're not the only one that thinks of doing these things.
Yeah.
You know, or
Everything that's been done or that you are doing has been done before, pretty much.
yeah.
That was one of the things that Rogan actually made a good point about teaching his kids. Like when they would make a mistake, he would be like, "Look, I have made every mistake that you've made or you're going to make. So just tell me when you make a mistake. I get it," kind of thing. He's like to be able to relate and be like, "I'm in no way perfect and I've made all the same mistakes." So it's like to not be afraid of making the mistakes, but then to also be willing to own up when you make them, so you can, I don't know, clean it up quicker. But
That checks out, and I feel like, I don't know, people just lose empathy when they see someone make a mistake. They're glad that somebody else made it first, rather than going to empathize with them and be like, "No, I totally get it." They isolate themselves from the mistake so they don't have to feel like they're a part of it at all. They're like, "Wow, I can't believe you would do that. I have no part in that mistake whatsoever," even if it's benign. or just like a lack of information.
Yeah.
I think it's people want to be right rather than be truthful. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the kids that never ask the question in class, but they all have the question in their head, and then some kids brave enough to ask the dumb question, and then it's like a relief that someone else took the burden on to ask the dumb question. But it's like, I don't know. Questions are good. I was the one in school that would just be like, not asking that. I'll figure it out, or I will just get that one wrong.
Oh man, I feel like that's one thing that the institutes teach you though, is like not to ask questions or be uncomfortable asking questions.
Yeah.
And then be like, we're just, I don't know, nobody should do that because then you're going to get embarrassed.
Some teachers are just bad, and they actually will take a question as like an insult that their teaching wasn't good enough, that there's follow-up questions. And like I had teachers like that too, where you ask you ask them to clarify something, and they almost make you feel dumb.
Yeah.
And yeah, good teachers just take it in stride.
You ever get talked to like that, where you ask like sometimes I ask dumb questions just so that I get like a better understand. Like I know 90% of what I asked for, but I ask for 100% of the context anyway.
Yeah.
Just to be like, just like give it all to me again, so that I'm just like 100% clear.
Fill in the gaps.
But then when I ask that, they're like, well, and then they like premise it with super obvious information that like everybody knows, and I'm like, come on, I'm not that stupid.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you can meet me a little halfway here.
Yeah, I had this math teacher, and she'd been teaching algebra 2 for, I don't know, 50, 60 years. She was a battle axe of a teacher, and wouldn't change her teaching style. Like the wagon wheel trenches of her teaching methods were deep. And it was so hard to sit through because we had block scheduling. So most schools, it would be like 45-minute classes. Our classes were an hour and a half long.
Oh my God.
And it was torture. I was taking like 6 bathroom breaks every class just to walk around and stretch my legs. And like I would buy packs of pencils just to snap them in half like at my desk because I was so bored. I got in trouble for snapping other kids' pencils because I would run out of pencils to snap at my own desk. And
Hey, can I get some pencils out?
that was also, we had the drop ceilings with like the foam boards or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And we would throw sharp pencils up into the ceiling. Those were good times.
So in our old church, in the gym, they had those ceilings.
Yeah.
And they had like folding tables, and you would put out these folding tables for conventions and stuff. And if you would look hard enough, you could see forks in like the ceiling's like 40 feet up. It's like really tall. Somebody is whipping forks as hard as they can.
Imagine a fork comes loose during a game, just spears a kid like at the foul line.
He's going for the free throw, just like hits the ball. Just misses.
He bricks it, and you know how they attach like some of the hoops to the ceiling.
Yeah,
he bricks it so hard it dislodges a fork, goes right into his eye.
Hits it just right. Fork falls, loosens a screw. Perfect. It's just Final Destination. The hoop comes off, swings out, takes out like 7 kids. Wow. Commentator doesn't know what to make of it.
Electrical fire. The whole place burns down.
Sparks.
Doors close. Everyone's locked in.
Water from nowhere. Rising.
Water fills with water while they're burning alive.
Sparks are flying into it. The live wires are coming closer and closer.
And then Noah says, you could have got on the ark.
There's an old bearded man, a giant bodybuilder. Everyone!
He's beating him off with his paddle. No!
You're not God's people! Get off of my boat! All from just forks being in a ceiling.
He built the boat real quick, just ripping boards out of the floor of the basketball court. Like, man, that guy whipped up a skiff in no time.
That's the sign of a real contractor. He knows what he's doing. I had a human simulator idea. So usually I do celebrities, but this time I was like, what if it was just like a general, like, what would a lazy politician look like?
Well, he's just in it for the money.
Well, yeah, he's in it for the money, but like he doesn't even try to campaign or anything. He doesn't like spend any money either, and he's like not really wanting to like win any kind of office, but he keeps winning somehow. Somehow people are like, I really like this guy.
His
Lazy
competition would just have to suck like so bad.
Yeah, maybe he's like, well, what if he's like really good looking guy and he just like, he campaigns for mayor in like 50 different cities and then just like moves to whichever one he wins.
Yeah, I've lived here for 30 years. And just says that at every single place.
Yeah, I love this city of Marigold, Wisconsin.
Not only that, but every single video he has, he's like, I love living it, and then it's a smash cut of him like sitting behind something and he's reading a paper. Georgetown, I've lived here forever. And it just keeps going. Different one. I've loved living in Albany. And it keeps going. He's got 30. Yeah, he's a shotgun politician.
I love everything about this city. The potholes, the homeless, everything.
I'll clean it up. You guys got no class.
As mayor, with your donations, your daily donations, he just sends out like a fleet of like door to door people with collections bucket. They're just rattling like a can.
Yeah, he recruits the homeless and paper boys.
Yeah, it's like what was the cartoon with the was it? It wasn't Peter Pan.
Was it Robin?
It was Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
He sends around the
everybody's in disguise.
dang, who's the big guy?
Sheriff of Nottingham.
The sheriff, yeah, he sends around like Sheriff of Nottingham, shaking people down for donations.
Grabs him by his ankles, shakes all the gold coins out of his pockets.
It's like, this is going toward the statue, the water fountain statue of me in Times Square.
I want a bronze statue right in front of the World Trade Center.
Now, I know that the economy hasn't been great, but this statue is $11 million, and we're going to need to step up.
For every statue I build, I will fill in one pothole.
Think of it as
me paying it forward.
yeah.
He's just like jargoning his whole speech, just somehow somewhat making sense. You know what I want to see are the campaigns where people fly their helicopters and just dump paper propaganda out of it, and it just rains on your house.
Yeah.
Like all of this paper. I really want to see that.
Yeah, just
sweet.
littering pamphlets. Like they're all like, they're plastic, enameled, like waterproof, totally unbiodegradable.
Vote for Kamala! It'd be so good. Andrew, what's your prompt?
Let's see. I have a what if idea.
What if
And what if it was required by the government that you religiously follow all holidays, such as Learn Your Name in Morse Code Day or Thank Your Mailman Day?
Oh.
Everyone, Donut Day, you gotta get donuts.
And like, yeah, if you don't
every single day was a day of some kind.
Yeah, and you had to do it, otherwise you're prison. Like the government is enforcing
huge fine or
the
prison.
Yeah,
The
right.
Blitzkrieg. You got the
Gestapo?
Secret Service. Gestapo, that's what I was
Gestapo
looking for.
shows up at your door. You're like, so, what is your name? Your full name in Morse code? And you're like, you're just like,
You're just knocking on it.
Or did you eat bagel and lox today?
Where's your bagel and lox? I need to see you eat it.
Today's National Hemorrhoid Day. Let me see your ass.
I need to see a video of you on the toilet.
Everyone, we just need one per household.
If you have any children under the age of 12, we don't need anything. Actually, under the age of 18. Sorry.
They just changed it. They just changed the law.
Imagine it's National Mailman Day, and the mailmen are like frantically running away from flocks of like people in these neighborhoods.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They're like, I baked you cookies. They're like forcing cookies in his face.
They're just loading his truck. His truck is covered in stickers.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, I'm going to have to clean all these off. I hate this day. Getting mauled by people would be insane. Christmas would go crazy. I'm sorry, but you don't have enough decorations on your house.
Yeah, I only counted 10 pieces of flair. The requirement is 15.
Oh, dang it, what was that from? What's that from?
Flair?
Yeah.
Waiting?
Is that from
Or
is that from Office Space?
it might be, yeah.
Yeah, where he goes to that
Yeah, it is.
place and oh man, I just watched a scene from that. It's a great movie. Yeah, what about religious holidays? Would everybody be Jewish?
Yeah.
You have to
For a
be
little
very educated.
Honor every religious holiday to the T.
to the T. Otherwise, prison.
Yeah.
That.
Religious oppression just doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore. The government's too powerful.
Dang,
Like,
this is
yeah.
dystopian.
So,
They have very strange morals, though.
Like, oh yeah, right at midnight, you gotta like switch
Yes.
from like Muhammad Remembrance Day or whatever, like right in, tuck and roll right into like
Straight to-
Buddha's birthday week.
It's like Civil Rights Remembrance Day. Like, oh man. Oh, it's Bob Marley Day. Everybody, get your guitars. I don't know.
Get your guitars out.
How about your prompts, Philip? Do you remember any of them?
I
Because I got more.
was thinking about like people that do yard work. Did I talk about this one? People who do yard work on the weekends.
I don't think so.
And like all these guys on riding mowers and with like chainsaws and weed whackers, and like how many people are just doing yard work just wasted like every weekend. Like
Yeah.
they're doing their riding mower and they have a huge yard to mow. They're
Yeah.
tying on a beer like every 30 minutes.
True.
Yeah.
Towards the end of them mowing their yard, like the lines are just getting more and more squiggly, and they're like running over
Kids.
running over kids. They're like doing their neighbor's yard by accident, just mowing gravel and just shooting it into people's windows. I was thinking like there's no like drinking and driving
for a mower.
for riding mowers really.
Yeah, there's no license plate on those mowers.
And that has a spinning wheel of death underneath it. But you could mow your yard so blackout shit-faced with no repercussions at all.
Yeah.
And that's actually a lot of fun. You can also operate like you were saying, chainsaws or stationary saws, table saws.
Yeah, just wasted.
These things could do so much damage. And they're like, nah, yeah, you can toss one back. Yeah, for every pass, he has a table at one end of his yard that's just covered in shot glasses.
He's like picking it out.
Shot. Comes back, another shot. He's like, man, I got 30 passes. I ain't no bitch.
The idea of yard work, most people just ignore their yards. Like,
True.
And they just don't really care. They'll let weeds come up everywhere. Then there's people that are really anal about their yards. But then there's also noise requirements too. So I was thinking about like you can't be over a certain decibel limit, and there's like quiet hours after like 10 o'clock p.m. or whatever. So then what if there's guys really milking it like for the noise? They just love some good noise going. So they just like, they run like they run mowers and like they're blasting music like for the full stretch, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. the whole day. They're just.
And then it hits 10 and it's just silent.
Just dead silent.
The whole neighborhood.
Everyone's ears. Everyone has tinnitus. And they just hear ringing.
Oh my, yeah, everybody in the neighborhood completely wasted on their riding mowers, 7 a.m. Everybody's having a great time. And then the second it happens, regardless of where your mower is, it just shuts off. Everything's off. And you just leave your mower there until next week. Or the next day.
Yeah, next day you're mowing every day.
Yeah.
All these retired guys, that's what they do in their free time.
Yeah, what if they like do an EMP pulse and they just shut off the city every day? Like, no electronics, it just goes pitch black in the city at 10 p.m. every night.
Well, if it goes quiet, then in the mornings, like, it would just be silent, and as soon as it hits 7, it's just the roaring. Thousands of motors just...
Everything gets switched on like a light switch.
You don't get your earplugs in time. You're just pouring blood out of your ears. I was thinking, too, with... like, how creepy would it be if you're in a packed stadium, all the lights go out? And
there are like 10,000 people there?
Yeah, if they, like, collected cell phones so people didn't have their cell phone lights or anything, like, what would happen, like, in that moment, like, where you have 10,000 people in a stadium, pitch black? Like, how bizarre that would be. How would people react? I know there would be... like 1 in 100 people just start screaming.
Yeah.
And so then you have, I don't know, what is that?
I mean, it only takes like 4 screaming people to make it fill the room.
And to make other people start screaming too.
I would just take all my food and launch.
My nachos go straight into section
never
B.
know.
You just start pickpocketing people like as fast as you can.
Like, a lot of assault. It's about
A lot of assault. Yeah, people just shoving people like off the top row.
Just trampling.
Yeah, that whole place is a mosh pit immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just swinging punches and I would just grab the person closest to me that is like somebody that's part of my crew and be like, I'm just gonna protect you right now, and then just listen to the chaos. People throwing drinks, people just jumping on stage, security's out of there. Security's like, screw this.
People just evacuating their bowels all over.
Oh, I can finally piss in public. Yeah. Just starts peeing on the people.
It's raining.
Was someone peeing? You're announcing it like, someone's peeing.
Someone peeing?
Oh my gosh, that would suck. And then the lights all come back on.
The entire stadium's peeing. Everyone's just peeing all over each other. What a mess.
Stadium's filled with piss.
10,000 people. I'd just be like running down the bleachers.
All the wood flooring for the basketball game they were watching is just warping. Like,
all the football players are just in the field kissing. Like, whoa, what happened?
Make out fest. Yo, what's going on? Keep the jersey on.
The refs are like counting the money they collected.
Yeah, out in the open. I gotta make sure all my 20s are here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be... that'd be really funny, actually. That'd be somewhere at 1. What if... What would... Okay, you know how vegetarians are, like, super disciplined most of the time? Mm-hmm. At least about their diet. Mm-hmm. Well, it occurred to me that drugs are not meat. So you could have a drug addicted vegetarian. Which would be really interesting because he sticks to such a rigid dietary. He's like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, eat this particular thing. But I just love cocaine.
It's true.
So you can have a drug addicted vegetarian. What would that look like?
Yeah, they would just make sure that the drugs weren't tested on animals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as it wasn't tested on an animal, they just gave a bunch of Xanax to a pack of dogs.
That's like the worst way to test drugs.
They test. Yeah,
You just tossed like a kilo and just a group. They're just
yeah,
they're living.
just mix it into a meatball and throw it into the dogs.
Yeah, this is good for humans. That's different.
I mean, he seems fine. He's still alive after 72 hours. He hasn't stopped running in circles, but...
But yeah,
If you were a vegetarian drug addict, what would your house look like?
Well, all the cokeheads I know have very clean houses. Because it's like... They have endless energy. And nervous energy, too.
They gotta have their house clean in case the cops show up.
Yeah. Oh, man. And that's it's deceiving too, because if you're on a lazy drug like weed or heroin or something, your house is gonna look like shit. if you're on uppers, a lot of people on uppers, Adderall and cocaine, they're busy. Meth heads, on the other hand, they just start tearing wire out of their walls and they get productive, but in the wrong way. They take the engine out of their car and they just start moving and shaking. They get a truck and they just fill it with all kinds of appliances on the side of the road, and they fill their garage with it and they try and tether it all together
So they can drive.
I'm making a time machine. Yeah.
So work together. It's all Whirlpool.
Give me that shovel. I'm gonna get to it first.
I buried meth out here. He said, what? How deep? 100 feet deep.
100 feet. I'll get there in an hour.
yeah. Give me just a shovel. I can get there.
Give me a fork.
Give me a fork from that gymnasium, from that church.
Yeah.
Did you know that Steve-O one time blacked out on PCP in a studio? And he woke up and everything was destroyed. He had destroyed everything inside of that recording studio. He just wrecked it. And I was like, wow. Yeah, you can get a lot done on PCP.
Yeah, PCP. That's the one where you take off all your clothes and you're punching holes through wood fences and entire SWAT teams can't take you down.
Dang, man. That's
just all your bones are broken and you're just running full speed down the highway and butt naked.
You turn into the Incredible Hulk for a few hours.
Yeah, just totally out of it. You're just completely possessed by demons.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything pleasant. Goodness knows what you experienced when you did that.
That one, that just makes no sense to me. How anyone could, out of all the choices for illicit drugs, why PCP?
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, that.
Jim Gaffigan had a joke about him getting wasted. He's like, you never get wasted and then do something you're proud of, You're like, man, I got trashed last night. Then I went and built some low-income housing.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah, it's more like I got trashed last night and crashed my car into a church.
Right into a cemetery. Woke up 6 feet deep in a freshly dug grave.
I took PCP and dug up all the graves. Switched the bodies around.
Just writes new names on the tombstones.
Yeah, he's out there carving.
Here lies Winnie the Pooh.
He's carving math problems into the tombstones.
They're like really easy too.
1 times 1 is 2. Trust me.
They're all wrong. And the only one that's right is super complicated rocket science.
Yeah, Einstein's field theory. He solved it.
He solves a proof somehow. Yeah, he's stone tablets, and he does all this butt naked. And
Yeah. How did you solve this? He's like, we need you to do it again. Give me that. Give me a. I don't even know how you do PCP. Do you smoke it?
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe you smoke
Freebase
PCP.
it?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Freebasing.
Yeah, butt chug it.
That.
It's the only way.
You gotta boof PCP and then just solve the hardest math problems on the planet. They just keep you in a padded room.
Locked up, tied up, and then they have the math problem flashing over and over until you figure it out. It's the split second that you see it.
Yeah, you have all the electrodes on your head. It's just solving on it. It's just putting out all the inputs on a computer.
It's just going up, down, up, down, up. This guy's activity is off the charts.
Oh, see, all this brain activity is him planning on ripping the copper wire out of this building later. This brain activity is him solving some of the toughest math problems we've ever come across.
Yeah, they finally, like, he comes down off of it, and the leader of NASA, like, goes to a press release, and he's like, boys, we're going to Saturn.
Yeah.
He did it. Yeah!
Yeah, there's a new pie.
Yeah. He figured out how to divide 0 by infinity.
Whoa.
No, he did it.
Yeah, you've heard of imaginary numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we have invisible PCP numbers.
We call them PCP integers.
They only show up on the 3rd hour, nearing overdose.
We got the Narcan at the ready. And then you have to rip a DMT pen. It's very difficult. We've lost a lot of lives trying to figure this out. Let's take a moment of silence for all of the PCP users out there.
Yeah. You know the drug tests that they will have people sign up to do a drug trial.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking, like, what about, like, they're like, well, we have this new treatment for bed bug bites. They just stick a bunch of bed bugs on you, and you just get bit head to toe.
Like, now we got to test it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it didn't work. Worked on our dogs.
Be like, yeah, it's a new Lyme's disease. You're just covered in ticks. You got full-blown Lyme's disease. And you're like, oh, man, it didn't work.
All you have to do is drink ammonia. Just sweat it out your pores.
Sweat it out. Well, here's your $50. Thanks for helping us with our drug trial.
That one didn't work. Yeah, we'll figure it out next go.
Come back next week. We're testing out a reverse laxative. We're going to make you...
You'll throw up shit.
You got to eat like 3 prune cheesecakes.
Your body's like, whoa, it's going up, down, up.
Your body's a lava lamp.
And it's like, you know what? Fine. It just turns it all into kidney stones. It's like, I don't know where to send this. Your body's like a lava lamp. So good.
Just rattling kidney stones out when you're peeing. Sounds like an airsoft gun on full auto.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it sounds like you're just really good at spitooning. Well, gotta get running. We're gonna call that a wrap. Just send me those two.
We're out.
See ya.
Toodles.
Bye-bye.
My deepest toodles.